We back up in here. Trash talking with the old heads. We back in the studio today. It's been a minute, but we back at it. We ain't gone nowhere yet. We ain't gone nowhere. Old head Greg, what happening, bro?
What it do, baby? No excuses. None. Play like a champion.
Not the other day they didn't. I only got one question
no excuses.
For you.
Play like
it's
a champion.
For you. Your cuz laid the egg, but the next question is, he headed to the NBA. Is he better than Bronny? Is he better than Bronny?
Yeah, he better than Bronny.
Okay.
He better.
All right. I just wanted to get you on record.
He better than Bronny. Come on, man. Don't disrespect to see his name like that.
Whether Mr. Mark Sears is better than Bronny. That's all I'm asking.
Don't disrespect to see his name like that.
We know you love Bron and Bronny. I just wanted to see if you say it.
I don't love nobody but my family.
I just wanted to see if he say it. Old head Jerry, what happened, bro?
What's going on, man?
Had to get him on record, bro.
Why play like a champion when you can be a champion?
What the hell you doing with that magic hat on there?
We coming.
Yeah, big bang. Bullshit. He ain't got no Duke gear because he was wearing it today.
None.
It's early.
He ain't got no Duke gear.
It's early. It's the Final Four.
It's
early. You been a Duke.
Early.
How long you been a Duke fan?
Man, forever.
That weird shit. Again, remember we addressed this a couple weeks ago.
We did.
How you a Florida Gator football fan,
right,
and a Duke basketball fan,
right?
That sound bandwagonish as fuck.
You don't want this early. You don't want it this early at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, we do it early.
The bigger question is Boston Celtics and Duke. What black man you know?
I mean, he's a
Celtic Duke fan.
He just had his oil. He was just oiling up. No diddy. Before we start filming, right? He was just oiling up. He might as well get a red hat with the words "Make America Great Again."
Might as well, bro. Duke and Boston, bro. I'm starting to wonder, bro. I'm starting to wonder, bro.
We need to test his allegiance.
Hey, but we'll get to that Final Four. It's all set. We'll get there in a minute. Of course, we're gonna talk a little Shador Sanders, a little draft talk. A little bit of women's. Hey, Jerry and I went down to the women's Sweet 16.
Yes, you
Checked
did.
it out.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
How was the atmosphere down there, man? We'll talk. We'll
get into it though. It was good though. Yeah. A little NBA action, but you know we got to start. Everybody been talking. Oh,
hold on. We got to start with first telling these people that we thanking our folks for being supporters of
what the hell we gonna do though? I saw something the other day.
What?
We gonna record that shit and just start dropping that shit. drop that shit in the video, dog. Cause I'm old and my goddamn mind be forgetting, dog.
You need to drink you more orange juice. You know what I'm saying? Get some more vitamin C in there.
I'm borderline diabetic. Can't have all that orange juice, dog. You know what I'm saying? Can't have all that orange juice, dog.
Get you some of them brain mushrooms.
Yeah, some brain food. Some what they say you put to fish and omega 8s and all that shit. But anyway,
when you're old heads like us, you gotta eat healthy.
Eat healthy, man. Damn, this shit suck because healthy shit don't taste
good. It'd be hard to, dog. You know what I'm saying? You be passing by KFC, KFC, Popeyes, and churches.
Right, like damn,
the wing spot,
3-piece and a biscuit sound pretty good.
You know what I mean?
But anyway. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. We appreciate all the support, like G was just saying, man. We definitely gonna keep bringing the content. Had life for a minute, so we've been out of pocket for a second, but we back at it. You know what I'm saying?
Life be life.
It be lifing. You know what I'm saying? It be lifing. LeBron, Stephen A.
That's what we starting first.
You know we got to get into it. We really didn't want to get into it. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't want to get into it. I'm sick of the motherfuckers. You know what I'm sick of both of them at this point. But
why you sick of both of them, bro?
I just think it's overblown on both.
Why you think it's overblown, bro?
Because I think it wasn't that deep, first of all. You know what I'm saying? I think now they both trying to control the narrative.
Who blew it up, bro?
I can't tell a man how to feel about something when somebody say something about you as a father. The fact that he said those words, I can't tell a man how to feel about that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's whatever he felt about that is what he felt. You know what I'm saying? I can't say.
And remember, he said it the very next day.
Now, can I have skepticism about whether that was really what sent him off? Sure, I can.
You can.
But I can't tell the man what to feel. I don't know. I don't know him like that. You know what I'm saying?
As Mr.
I don't know him.
As Mr. Braun hated himself. Who blew it up?
But after that, I think they've both been trying to control the narrative.
Why you feel like both of them been trying to control the narrative?
Because you didn't have why go on McAfee? Why? What's the point? What was the point?
Okay, so this is why I'm asking the question why he went on McAfee. What happened immediately after Stephen A. said, "I don't want to talk about it"?
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up though. So what? You've addressed this man face to face already. So what is going on? What is going on? McAfee going to do? You told him what you need to tell him face to face.
Hold on, let me ask you this: what was that the only topic on McAfee?
No.
How long?
But that's why he went.
Do you know that for sure? Do you know that for sure?
That's my problem with Bron.
Do you know that for sure?
That's my problem with Bron.
Do you know that for sure?
You know that's why that man went. Come on, dog.
Hey, okay.
Come on. Now. Let's be realistic about it. Now we can tell the truth about Bron.
We can.
It's just like me and you. We were just talking about Republicans not wanting to tell the truth. It's the same thing with Bron. He went on McAfee to address Stephen A. about the shit Stephen A. said afterwards. But that's why he went though.
Okay, but
my thing is you just talked to him face to face.
So here's my issue with what you're saying. First, you're saying that you have an issue because it was blown up. Do you believe that he would have went on McAfee had Stephen A. Smith went on 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 or 5 different podcasts? Went on Fox News. Went on Gil's Arena.
You fucking LeBron.
Went with Skip Bayless.
LeBron James.
Bro, at some point, you're human. You're human. At some point, you just can't keep taking shots. You're not just going to keep taking shots, especially from a nigga that you don't like and he don't like you, and you both know that y'all don't like each other.
Actually, it ain't even about being human. I'm going to tell you what it's about. It's about being cat. They both some cat-ass dudes, and both of them doing cat-ass hoe shit. Both of them.
What's hoe and cat about?
Both of them doing cat hoe shit on microphones in front of the world, and it's ridiculous.
All right, so let me ask you
All of it is ridiculous.
Let me ask you this. So it was him addressing Stephen A. Cat and Ho. You say that's a cat and Ho.
I'm not going to answer your questions. Because all you're going to do is take me down a rabbit hole I don't want to go in. So I'm not answering your questions.
That's bullshit.
I'm going to stick to what we're talking about right here.
We talking about it. This is what we're talking about.
And this is the only thing I'm going to say about it. Bron said that he had to protect his damn house and the league. That's what he said. But also,
he didn't say the league. He said players.
Are the players in the league?
The league is saying the league and the players is two different things.
Other players,
right? So specifically the players, right? He said protect them. So most of the time we protect them from danger. Please tell me the danger that Stephen A. Smith poses to LeBron James and Bronny James and the James family and any of the players in the NBA. What is the danger? What's the threat?
You're being too literal.
No, I'm not.
You're being too literal, man. Ain't nobody talking about there's a danger. That's just being too literal.
You have to.
America, y'all see where he's going. So he's going from an aspect of this man saying I have to protect them from danger. It's not danger, but I tell you,
let's say protect them from the media.
It ain't even protection from the media.
Protecting from
the word he used.
It's protection. Okay, when I'm gonna take it from a sense of him saying his household. You know what I'm saying? I know what y'all saying or trying to do about him saying protecting the players. But when somebody is coming at you, at your family, at your wife, or her kid, or your kids, or your wife's kids, you goddamn right, you better say something. Or when you come home,
but you can't leave off the other part because he said it. That's where my point about they're both trying to control narrative. That's why he's saying that. You trying to spin it because it was swaying a little bit like, okay, maybe people were saying he was trying to bully Stephen A. and that whole deal. So now you're saying I'm protecting my family and the other players. They both, it's about the narrative and public opinion. They both trying to control it at this point. You know what I'm saying? Stephen A. don't want to look like, okay, I was attacking his family. He don't want it to look like I'm trying to bully the media. They both trying to persuade the public opinion.
Stephen A. wasn't attacking his family. He wasn't attacking his family. Okay. I'm not going to say he was attacking his family.
Thank you.
But he did attack his manhood as a parent and a father.
No, he did.
Yes, he did. No, he did, okay, whatever. It don't matter if he intentionally did it or not. You can't tell another man how to feel about what somebody say.
I agree with that.
Especially when it's a nigga that you don't like.
I agree with that.
And he said
that's the only point about this whole thing about, as far as Bron goes, that I actually agree with. I can't tell another nigga how to feel.
Exactly. You know, and then especially somebody that's being personal And he said it in a manner, as a father.
And I'm sorry, I said
I'm pleading
another brother. I said I was going to that's
yeah,
my thing.
another brother.
Another brother.
I'm pleading with you to stop. Stop what? You know what I'm saying? Stop what? Stop letting this kid be a kid, not letting this kid be a fucking player. That's what you pleading with him to do? You sounded like you trying to, like you're caring. And Stephen A has just laid it for the world, which I said when this first started, they have a beef. So somebody that don't like you is never gonna be
okay, but
caring
about
now
your predicament. His boy though, why the shot at Wendy?
Because I showed you the interview, that the thing that probably pissed Brian off with Wendy.
But that's my thing. That's now back to his point, the caddy shit. Like, damn, a nigga can't say nothing you don't agree with, Brian, without you getting.
Thank you, Dante. That's exactly. That's exactly.
I'm trying. That's the bitch shit I'm talking about.
That's
you know
where,
what I'm saying.
To me, that's where it. To me,
that's the bullying. To me, that's the bullying. To me.
Okay, you know again, and this is why I don't understand this narrative that, you know what I'm saying, he being insensitive, because people have been taking shots. Wendy took a shot. Wendy has taken a couple shots. I can show you a video.
Wendy has also protected him a lot too.
Protected what?
I'm just saying, most of the shit Wendy has said about him over the years been positive.
He has.
Every time he come on, I be like, okay, here goes some positive shit. It's gonna be some positive.
He also said some shit that wasn't true.
Some people can't be fair about criticism.
How many times have you heard him say something about Wendy, about Skip, about Doug Gottlieb, and the tons of media critics? Y'all got an issue because he come out now? Why? Because it's Brian?
What you mean?
Listen, man.
What I mean, I just said it. He's been through this for 20-something years. He's been going through this shit for 20 fucking years.
See, that's my problem, too. A lot of this shit is about Skip Bayless.
Woe is me.
He been through it with Skip Bayless, basically. Skip Bayless is the real one.
Ain't no woe is me. Ain't no woe is me.
You haven't been on him like that. It's been Skip Bayless.
Man, that's a goddamn lie. People have built their career.
Skip Bayless.
Woe is me.
Skip Bayless, the only one that done built his career.
Who else?
Fucking
negativity about Bron. Who else?
Well, he was the one that started the whole shit.
Who else?
The whole talk.
Name another one with negativity about Bron.
Doug Gottlieb.
All they do was
Doug Gottlieb.
All they do was working before LeBron. All these dudes you name it was working well before.
Right. What was they doing?
Skip was the main one. Now I'll give you Skip, but he built his whole career off negativity on a lot of people. A lot of people. But LeBron, a lot. Mainly, a lot of it. LeBron. But my thing is, everybody turns that into everybody. Skip Bayless is one motherfucker.
Y'all keep limiting Skip Bayless. It ain't just been
I'm
Skip
saying
Bayless.
It's one person who, to me, hasn't been fair about it. Who can't have y'all, anybody with a criticism, y'all say is taking shots at Bron. You can criticize damn LeBron James.
I'm not saying you can't. But if you start to get personal with it, which Stephen A did, which we agree. Yeah, that was the one time he came at him.
Right, but my problem is the shit
after years of it. So y'all acting like this man come out every goddamn time somebody say some shit.
I'm saying
but
now,
because he goddamn spent 2 minutes talking about a bitch ass nigga that's a fucking clown that then showed that he a fucking clown, and Wendy Hoare.
What did I say in the root? I said I think both of them acting like clowns at this point and silly as shit.
I don't care if you can feel that way, because at the
I said both of them.
You can feel that way. And I understand where you're coming from by saying that, but at the same time, you can't tell a man how to fucking feel about if he's offended if you bring his family into it. That's the beginning. So this shit, when you ask, why is it blown up? It's blown up because of Stephen A. He went on to Pat McAfee like ain't nobody else ever did no interview in the middle of a fucking season. He done been on podcasts before. He said some shit about Wendy. He said 2 minutes about Stephen A being in some tighty whities and him being on a Swiftie tour. And now he a fucking bully. Please stop that bullying shit. That's that shit that you don't. I can understand.
Come on now, you're trying to make the bullying about Mac. The bullying was about going up to him at the game. That wasn't about
what I'm about to say.
That was about this 6'9", 260-pound motherfucker going up to this 60-year-old man knowing he ain't finna do nothing.
All this microphone and stuff on camera. Let's just like Stephen A said, all of this is brilliant by LeBron because there was a camera that recorded him going up on.
Okay, here we go with the
up on Stephen.
Here we go with the Zapruder film. Do you know that the guy that ain't got shit? The guy that filmed it is a podcaster, a YouTuber. They don't got shit to do with Bron.
So,
was it somebody in his orbit?
So
no.
Here we go back
to Stephen A. bullshit.
Here we go back to LeBron fans. Reality is just not enough for LeBron.
What's the reality?
It's always got to be something else. I'm gonna finish my point. LeBron fans are just reality is not good enough. We are sitting here discussing and talking about. It's been about 2 weeks now, I guess, maybe longer. Of Stephen A. Smith. You got Bron saying his house, his family was attacked. You sitting up here regurgitating that dumb shit. His house was not attacked. LeBron feeling offended about what Stephen A. said originally. All he did was critique Bronny's performance thus far.
That's all he did.
Let me finish.
That's all he did.
The stuff you keep saying about him going at him or whatever. Listen, that man works on TV. When he went into as a father, to me, I really don't even understand the uproar of him saying that because it's for TV. And I said it the first time we discussed it, is that all that dude was doing was trying to exude through the TV as if he's pleading with LeBron to stop allowing his son to be on this NBA court with these real pros and getting dogged like he did when Tyrese Maxey dog walked Bronny the whole game. That is what his focus was.
Played 5 minutes.
That is what
in 5 minutes turned into the whole game.
Let's say exactly what the comment was. I'm really trying to be as respectful as possible as I can possibly be towards LeBron James, one of the top 2 or 3 players in the history of basketball, number 2 in my eyes. I'm pleading with LeBron James as a father, stop this. We all know that Bronny James is in the NBA because of his dad. First game of the season, opening night, father-son duo playing in an NBA game for the first time. Absolutely, positively wonderful story. And then the reality sets in. We love what we're seeing from him in the G League because that's where you belong as you hone your skills and you get better and legitimate, which I believe he has the potential to do. I'm rooting for Bronny James. It would be cruel to root against him, but he's LeBron James' son, and everybody knows what attention that brings.
The 2 things that stand out to me is, of course, I'm pleading with you as a father about Bronny's. The whole thing he's talking about in that moment is how his son is looking out here. This is early in the season, how his son is out here looking. It don't look good for him. It don't look like an NBA player. That's all it is. And then the next thing is Stephen A. starts throwing in the sentiment of everybody about Bronny not deserving of being picked at 55 or wherever he was picked, because now we've seen enough to say that,
So let me ask you this, could he have said those same things without saying, as a father, I'm pleading with you? Could he have said those same critiques?
Well,
did he need to say that?
I'm sure he's smart enough to come up with another way to do it, to exude that through the TV. But I get it. I fully get why he said it. But all he's trying to portray or add to what he's doing is what the talk is. You can tell by Stephen A. and the way he talks on TV, his podcast, and whatever microphone he's in. Stephen A. is the type of cat that's reading the stuff that fans say. He in his comments. He reading what people are saying when people say stuff, and then he comes on TV and he puts that right back, that same energy back out.
I'm gonna say this because you making this sound like it's in and of a nutshell. Like Stephen A. hasn't said things to LeBron on TV that was personal. This wasn't I'm trying to be respectful to you, LeBron. I can say, with all due respect, your ass stank and your wife look like shit. That ain't respectful. Especially when it's somebody, I just said that as a disrespectful comment that's overtly disrespectful, without trying to beat around the fucking bush. The man don't like LeBron. I told you when we first talked about it a few weeks ago that there were public comments that Stephen A. made.
They don't like each other.
They don't like each other. So what the fuck you got to say about me as a father? You don't. So it don't matter Stephen A's intent.
This man is so specific. That's what I don't get. They keep going
It's a
into all
specific
this other
comment.
stuff. They go into all this stuff. We talk about from the past to now, blah, blah, blah. The specific thing that Brian walked up on that man and said was saying, keep my family out of it, or keep Brian's name out of it, or whatever. He was talking about that moment. And his fans keep talking about, he did this and he said that, and what about all these years? And this person built up his platform off LeBron and blah, 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 blah. Man, all that shit is cat. This dude is a billionaire superstar basketball player. Team trying to get as high as they can in the seasons, and he is getting in front of microphones and cameras to talk about the dude that gets on the microphones and cameras for a living. What are we doing?
Again, you make
What
it
are we
seem,
doing?
again, that's a mischaracterization of what we doing. Again, you can't tell that man to not be disrespected about something that you said of a nigga that don't like you. That's just, Jared, I don't care what you say in any situation. If you hear somebody say anything that could be considered offensive, you're going to have a problem with it. And this man, on top of all of the shit that he done said, always say, come see me. You know where to find me. I ain't hard to find. I'm at the games.
Now, for me, the only issue I have with Stephen
Stop
A.
all that shit. Stop all that crying for Stephen
I was
A.
about to say,
shit.
I have no sympathy for him. Don't get
None.
me wrong. I don't.
None.
Don't play victim now after all
Exactly.
these years. That's my only thing I would say.
Exactly.
I would say to Stephen A. Don't play victim. now.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I'm with
That's
you.
my point.
I didn't like the whole running up on him at the game. I thought that was some bullshit. But don't play victim though. You know what I'm saying? Don't play no victim role now. After you talk the shit you talk.
After
know what I'm
you
saying?
talk the shit
'Cause
that
I've
you
heard.
talk.
Now I don't watch First Take anymore because I told you plenty. I don't enjoy Stephen A. I don't watch it for real.
I watch it because
You know what I'm saying?
I like
But
some of
he
the
talk a lot of
commentary, but he
shit,
say
though.
a lot of bullshit.
I've heard that statement a lot. You know where to find me, and I've heard that kind of shit from him a lot. But
All
it's
the
TV.
time.
You know what I'm saying? It's,
all the time.
but he do say it a lot. You know
all
what
the
I'm saying?
time. And again, I told you,
To me,
there were
him
moments.
saying that is all. I look
Shtick.
at it's all TV.
It's shtick.
It's
Man.
TV.
I don't care. That's
And
just
I
like if you
promise
get on the album and you talk tough on the album. If somebody come see you about it,
whack, man.
it is
The
what it is. If you on Facebook and you
Now,
talk,
as black men, we do know once you say, nigga, you can see me. You know what I'm saying?
you can get
You
it.
know a nigga can
It's
see
up.
you at any point. You
It's
know what
up.
I'm saying? If he
Isn't it?
see you in
Right.
person, you know to be on the
Exactly.
lookout like, hey, I told the nigga to see me. You know what I'm saying?
when he said the shit, everybody that was watching the shit knew it was an issue. I told you long ago that them niggas was not seeing eye to eye. Stephen A. just admitted on some bullshit. He
did
always
admit
he came out after the fact.
did admit it.
After the fact, he said that he
don't like each
it was he said I seen it as a father. That was a father speaking to me.
Yeah.
The moment that he saw that he was getting punked the fuck out, everybody was on the media.
That's when he had their direct.
That's when he went on his world
He
tour.
pretty much said it. You know what I'm saying?
That's
That
when
I
he
saw
went on his world
it
tour.
went viral, and so I had their direct. Nah, you didn't.
Then you
And
come
see,
out-
That was my thing. Don't play it both ways. Don't be like, I'm a 6-year-old man. I ain't finna be fighting with nobody. Then after the fact, then act like a 6-year-old man
Right.
and let it go.
Talk
You know
about
what I'm
and
saying?
let it go.
Let it go.
L.I.
Don't play both sides.
Because had
You
he
know what I'm
done that,
saying?
LeBron wouldn't.
It would've been done.
It would have been over with.
That was my
It
thing.
would have been over with. It would have been over.
Now you know LeBron so well. That's what he do. LeBron.
But it is. You've seen 22 years of it. He ain't never done this before.
LeBron is showing us he just as cat as all these dudes is already on the mic. Him.
Is he as cat as Michael Jordan, who stopped the whole friendship
All of
because
'em.
Charles Barkley said his GM and skills suck?
All
Is
of
he as
'em.
cat as Mike?
All
A whole
of 'em.
friendship now. These niggas busting holes together,
LeBron.
golfing together, and now they ain't friends no more.
Now we completely off the subject.
No,
Now
we
he
ain't,
want-
'cause
Now
you-
he want to go to now.
Nah, because I wanted to put the mirror to
Both
your
of 'em-
face.
both
You
of
got
'em-
all these sentiments about LeBron being cat about him addressing the nigga that he don't like.
Don't put the mirror to me because I'm the cat that said we don't need to discuss this no more and don't
Why?
want to discuss this no more.
It is gold.
It is
content gold. We
To
gonna
me,
discuss it.
to me,
Content gold,
me,
baby.
the whole-
Why we not discussing it?
to me, this whole thing has been
But, hey,
overblown and then
on
way too
Facebook
much.
though, we want y'all to comment. minute though. Let us know.
Stephen A. talking about
who was right?
If that man would have swung on me, all that bullshit, man.
That like I say, that's my big problem.
That let you know that he way off his square.
Let us know who was right. Who you feel who was right?
Talking about Kobe's funeral, D-Wade ceremony, man.
Who cares?
In the hospital. He's so far off his square. It's ridiculous.
Who cares? It's Stephen A. Smith. At the end of the day, he can't affect Bron in any kind of way.
Man, stop it, man. We can diminish Stephen A. Smith all he wants to, but Stephen A. is the most.
He can't stop his game. He can't stop him from playing. He can't stop his stardom. He can't stop his iconicism. None of that is affected by anything that Stephen A.
I agree with everything you're saying, but the only thing, my only retort, and you know I'm sick of it all too. My only retort to it would be, let's say you at work, because I've had situations like this before, and you say, oh man, this dude keeps talking shit about you. He keeps saying this. At some point,
you gonna say something.
You know what I'm saying? When you see him,
it may not be your like, swing
right, but you gonna go to him and
swing on him.
What's the problem? You know what I'm saying? Do we have a problem? You know what I'm saying? At some point, you keep hearing dude saying this, dude said this, did this, said you did this. At some point, you will address.
Keep needling. You
will address. Now, that's why I
it.
can't be a hypocrite about it, because at some point, a brother will address.
You know you would.
A brother will.
You know you would, Jerry. And I'm trying to speak as a father.
I don't know as good as Greg, but I'm quite sure at some point you would address it.
I'm gonna speak as a father. I'm gonna speak as a father.
It's hard for me to look at it like that because I know I all I can do is I'm not willing to put myself in a similar situation because I view it completely different. I view Stephen A. as the dude on TV that is supposed to talk and bring eyeballs and ears to what's being said to the company that he works for. That's how
that's the whole problem.
Is there no limit? Is there no?
You can say anything.
You can say anything.
He has a limit.
Okay.
He crossed it.
What I'm asking. That's getting to my next question.
No, he didn't.
How do we tell an athlete what's the limit though? How can you tell another man what his limit is about himself and things being said about him?
Then I have to go back to.
Hate sounding like I'm defending Bron because I think he was wrong for stepping to him. But as a man, I'm looking at it like, okay, how do I tell another man what his limit is?
You can't.
Because can't nobody tell me what my limit is.
You can't tell.
I don't.
You can't tell that man's touching subject.
At it like this.
That's a touching subject for him.
When he started using the words, "I got to protect my family," I still go to protect him from what? Protect them from what? What was done? What was said?
All right. So let me speak on as a husband and as a father. And I know you was a husband before. You know what I'm saying? That you had children that, you know what I'm saying, that were your wife's kids. So I'm not saying that you don't know what it's like because you had nieces and nephews that I know you would die for. Right? Am I right in saying that? You got nieces and nephews that you'll go to bat and go to war for.
Right.
And I ain't saying you're, you know what I'm saying, kill a man or nothing like that. You may, depending on the severity of, you know what I'm saying, how that kid was impacted. But when you have when you're speaking when he said, I got to protect my household, as a husband, you know, if somebody say something, I know this for me and my wife, if somebody say something that attacks her dignity, even if it's in the smallest slight, she gonna say something to me. And if I don't say nothing or stand up for her or my children, there's going to be an issue. So that's what I took it as, protect my household. Because your household is your peace. That's your kingdom. You come home to peace.
It's some layers to it.
I know for a fact Savannah has an issue for... I know she does. She's a woman. Now, I might not know. I ain't going to say I know for a fact. I ain't going to say no for a fact. I'm going to say, for me speaking as a husband of a wife I've been with for 15 years, we've been married for 10, I know what that peace in that household looked like. That's how I took it. That may not be how he meant it, but that's how I took it.
See, for me, it was more of the only way I could see him getting offended about it was in the media when you got a platform like Stephen A's.
This the biggest media mogul out there.
Things can stick. And when people hear you say as a father, and then people are equating that to LeBron like he's been a bad father in some way.
Right.
Things like that can stick. You know what I'm saying? That's my only issue about the media and media has a responsibility. There's responsibility in when you're a media personality on some of the things that you say. He needs you do have a responsibility. Because there are people who really, I'm not one of them, who hate Bron and don't like him. And they'll take something you say and be like, see, Bron, even Stephen A. know because he on the inside. He know Bron being a bad father. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. So I see how Bron maybe could have taken it that way. Like I say, I can't tell another man how to feel. You know what I'm saying? Do I think Stephen A. was wrong? I mean, LeBron was wrong for stepping up to him? Yeah. And could he have let it go after saying what he? To me, yes. But I can't tell another man how to feel.
And this what do you think LeBron James is a bad father?
I do not.
Do you think
everything I've read about the man says he's a good father and a good husband? That's what I've read.
I don't think LeBron James is a bad father. I don't. I doubt if there's anybody on the planet that thinks that LeBron James is a bad father. So why in the world?
You read the comments.
Why in the world?
Yeah, you read these comments. I was
about to say I've read comments. I disagree.
Even the people that's putting stuff in the comments, they don't believe truly believe he's a bad father. People that put dumb stuff in comments, it's about them being seen doing.
Let me ask you this:
putting something in comments. It's not about what they truly feel. They don't feel that he's a bad father because there's no evidence of him. But Jared,
you got to consider where it's coming from and who it's coming from and the relationship between the two. No. It ain't like him and Stephen A. don't have a relationship. They have a bad relationship. So if you see me doing something with my kid that I feel is right,
wouldn't even say they got a bad Jerry, I'll just say they don't.
Would you feel comfortable saying to me as a father, you need to do something different? You shouldn't do that as a father. I wouldn't dare tell nobody that. Right. I would say, hey, man, maybe look at it this way.
Right.
Because when you say that and it's negatively connotated or there's a negative vibe to it, you are questioning his fatherhood, his parenting.
The source in this is very important.
It's important. You can't leave that out.
The source is
You can't leave that out.
What I think he's taking it that way. Let's say
if Draymond said it.
You're right. Or Nick Wright.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Or
maybe he don't
Richard Jefferson.
Right.
Or Channing
maybe he
Frye.
don't take it that way. Or maybe he just called him like, hey, bro, that was a little on the board.
Yeah, what you mean by that?
Right. But since the source is important.
I don't know how you don't understand that.
Who it's coming from does matter. We got to be realistic about that. It matters.
It's not even about, I understand everything that's going on. There's no way I can look at Stephen A. and take him serious as a threat to what I got going on if I'm LeBron James. There's no way. Damn. He can't go up there and really go in and offend me. He can't. He cannot. And to me, LeBron's whole thing, to me, this is just my belief looking at it after all this time and everything that's been said. I don't see it at all as some man trying to protect his house, protect his household. I look at the whole thing as he's read the comments too about what everybody thinks about him getting his son into the league.
And see, that's my big thing.
Drafted and
motive and opportunity.
All of that
stuff been building. I think he had a motive. Stephen A. gave him a motive and an opportunity to say what he wanted to say.
This is the difference between me and this guy. I can concede that could be what he was thinking.
Motive and opportunity.
It could be. Yeah. We're not in either person's shoes.
He had motive and opportunity.
You have to recognize that. And that's my issue with Stephen A. and this whole thing. He continues to. First he said there was a father, but now. When LeBron mentioned it, it wasn't about Bronny. It was about your ass.
Stephen A.
That's what he's talking about. He said it wasn't about Bronny. But now you cannot understand that it's
for Stephen A. it's about clicks and shit now, views and shit.
But you can't concede the point that you may have offended him by saying as a father, just the same way that I can concede the point that.
But I think that first day he kind of did when he addressed it.
Exactly.
He kind of did concede it the first day. And then it got bigger and bigger, so he went back on it.
So what did that tell you? His whole reasoning shifted. So that means that he's not being
because he's embarrassed. So he's striking out. So it ain't gonna stop.
I hope it does stop.
It's not gonna stop.
I really hope it. I hope it's over. You know what I'm saying? For me, I've been
Either way, he's
saying
been getting dogged in the social media hemisphere. He better stop.
But we got to move on. Hopefully, it's
I
over.
don't hear that from Bron fans, by the way.
Man, he looked bad.
He getting dogged.
Will Bond trash. He didn't trash him, but Will Bond said it's ridiculous. Barkley said it's ridiculous.
And Patrick said it. Everybody I listened to said this is getting ridiculous. One of Stephen A's best friend, Rob Parker. This is ridiculous. I think it's sad, and it is because it's senseless.
Thank you.
To me, the whole thing.
I agree. I'm hoping
he need to stop.
I'm hoping they both let it go at this point, man. Just hopefully it's over.
I hope we never cover this shit again.
We'll cover it, but
I doubt it. Something gonna happen.
It's content.
Something gonna happen. I guarantee you.
I guarantee you, if Brian would be the one that's looking like a fool, you'd be ready to watch it. You'd be ready to cover it.
I can't wait till this dude.
You'd be ready to cover it.
I can't wait till him and Brian retire next year.
If it was Brian that was the one that the media painted, if everybody was on Stephen A's side and Brian was the total jerk,
nope.
In the whole situation, you wouldn't want to talk about.
I look at LeBron as the worst in the thing anyway.
But you know, ain't nobody on your side with that shit.
Got up off. This dude is at work. Got up off the bench. Ain't paying attention to what's going on. His team is trying to get the highest seed possible, and his dumb ass get up and go and talk to Stephen A. about something Stephen A. said. That's so dumb to me.
In the third quarter,
so dumb to me. It don't matter.
A 5 second. It don't matter. You
got bigger fish to fry.
And he fried that.
You are at work,
and he fried that motherfucker. Came down and hit the three ball and all that shit.
They wanted him to be some type of hero and doing. Somebody finally went at Stephen A.
That ain't no hero. Who said anything about a hero?
I did.
That's you.
I did.
That's you.
Y'all.
That's you projecting.
Y'all act like
nobody said that was
heroic. Finally, somebody
in the group did. People did say that shit.
Who said it was heroic?
No, I ain't saying heroic. They ain't use that word, but I'm glad somebody finally got at his ass.
That ain't heroic.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm cheering him on.
I'm glad he got at Stephen A. I'm glad.
See what I'm saying?
Carmelo said the same shit. D-Wade said the same shit. Matt Barnes said the same shit. Everybody wanted to see Bron finally got damn buck up.
We gonna close on this. I guess my only issue is they use the social media when they want to, all these athletes. But they got so many big problems with people talking about them on social media. That part for me is just interesting to me that they use it to their advantage when they want to.
It's the personal attacks. That's all.
I want to know.
It ain't about the X's and O's no more.
And I said this earlier.
It's not being celebrated. Everybody knows the NBA is the most negative covered game.
No, sir.
Sports game. And it is, man. It is. There's more negative.
But NBA most of it is about the game.
I'm gonna tell you this though, because a lot of it has been surrounded and centered around the GOAT debate.
See, I've heard that from a lot of people.
A lot of it is. Now, a lot of it has been centered around the GOAT
more
debate.
of it is around the style of play and stuff. Yeah. To me, but
that too.
But it's on the
different
court
eras.
stuff. My thing is, it's negative, but most of the negative stuff is on the court stuff. It's not personal. Yeah,
but
it's on the court shit.
But like I just said, when you start calling people soft, this a soft ass general, that's personal.
So how?
Just like when Stephen A. was calling.
Okay, so if I said,
Kwame Brown,
but most of the time when they say soft, they mean less physical. So if they worded it less physical, is that better?
They don't say
because that's what they mean. Yeah, that's what we mean when we say it.
But you're calling the players are soft.
This is a less physical era. Is that
due to the league rules or is that due to the mentality of the players?
I'm saying whatever.
That don't matter.
So which pick one?
But all we doing is saying it was more physical in the past.
So is it just the wording of it?
All you do.
Yeah, because if you say soft,
what that is,
if you call somebody soft, then that's a disrespectful
Greg, you're not very physical. Is that better?
That's still the game is.
I'm saying the same thing.
You're not very physical. That's still the same thing. You're saying that I'm a soft. That's the same thing. With the difference would be saying the league changed. The way the game is played now is not as physical as it used to be.
Guess what?
That's a different statement.
So the league has changed, but just don't say nothing about the players.
Okay, it's the same. So look at it on the other thing. So it's cool for you to run your mouth, but when I run my mouth, it's a problem.
I'm just saying.
That's the same. It's the same. It's just on two different sides of the spectrum. It's the same thing.
But why is it running your mouth to say the league is less physical?
Is it true? That's my question.
Right. It's not
the league
is it true?
The league is played differently.
Is it?
Right.
It's played differently, but the players themselves.
So why they take that
Don't
personal?
change it. Is it true?
Yeah, it's true that the league is played
then
differently.
why in the world, if
Then what's
it's
the
true,
issue?
why would somebody today take?
So is
issue?
it just the term soft?
Calling the players
That's what I'm saying.
soft
So
is
saying
different
the
than
players
saying
are
that
less.
the game is played.
So saying there's less
physical.
physicality would make it better.
Yes.
But that's what. But most people, when we talking like this, or in the barbershop, we all know that's what we mean.
No, but you're not. That's not what you're saying. And
But you know
and
that's what we
repeat it-
mean.
No, I don't.
which is-
Because
that's
you're
why we
repeatedly
said-
saying, "Oh, these niggas soft."
But when I say
These
that,
niggas
you know
soft.
exactly
These
what we're
niggas-
talking about.
No, I don't. Because you said these niggas
God.
is
See,
soft.
Now you being too literal. Because you
Exactly.
accused him of that a minute ago.
Because he
Now
needed-
you doing it. You
No,
know what
I'm
I'm
not.
saying? Now
You're
you doing the
saying
same
specific
shit.
players are soft.
He needed to fit into the narrative that he protected.
No,
LeBron.
you're
That's
saying
You
why-
even
players
said
are
it. So
soft.
we said the league. Most of the time we be like the league is soft.
This is why.
Okay,
This
that's
is why I don't like doing this.
Again,
That's
you're
what I
saying-
always say. The league is soft.
No, a lot of people say the players are soft.
But when we say the league, we always
That's
talk about the
different,
players.
but
We
that's
ain't talking about the damn owners. Who the fuck else we gonna talk about?
So
If
is-
not the players.
Is the if the,
Why the
let me
fuck
ask
would we
you
talk about the owners?
Because we know that the difference between today and now is because of the rule changes. We don't get that far into the specifics and the
Sometimes
nuances of
we
it.
do.
Yeah.
When
We're
we
talking-
conversating, we don't.
when we see the language and the conversation being had about the league, we know for a fact you can pull up countless videos. These players soft, they sensitive. That is not saying that the rule changes and the way that the game is played is different. That is not disrespectful.
But when we
One
had the
is and
conversation-
one ain't.
Truth. It's the truth, though.
So again, you're calling the players soft.
it's the-
So if they get offended by you saying that they are soft, then you don't have the leg to stand on because you're saying, yeah, it's true, they soft.
The game.
Yeah,
You're
it's
not
true.
delineating between the two.
Okay,
You're just
there
saying
it's true.
they're soft.
They're less physical.
They are.
Okay, then so if,
They are less physical.
again,
So
if you have
I hope y'all feel better now.
no, if you have the government, you can say what you want to say.
I'm talking to the players. Feel better now.
No,
I'm not saying
say what
you're
you
soft.
want to say.
You
Now
guys
they
are,
have the
you guys
microphone.
are less physical.
That's bullshit. Say what you want to say. Now that they have the microphone, it's a complaint.
From who?
You just brought it up.
Brought up
You
what?
just, the players now, everybody
I'm just
got.
asking about the terminology.
Bullshit,
so
man.
soft is the problem. So it's
Don't just
it's,
drill it
it's
down
just
to
a
that.
terminology.
Don't
issue.
just drill it down to that. We were
because
talking,
you just said to him, it's true.
Dante, the conversation came.
You just said it's true.
We said the conversation came because of the way that players now are responding to media because they can't be criticized. And I said that it's not a criticism of the game. It's more of a negative
But I said
coverage
most
of the
of the-
game.
but most-
That's why they have a problem. And you mad. You said
But
this.
what I'm saying is, you're talking about the verbiage then, because you know what I'm saying when I say it. You know what I mean when I say it's soft. You just said you know that means less physical.
No. We
You
have
know
to-
that's what that means.
Right, but we have to make sure that we make that
So
delineation.
in order
We
to make
just-
them feel better, we just need to
it ain't
verbalize
about
it
making them
differently.
feel better.
The
It's about
NBA
your problem with them now having the mic.
I don't have a problem.
Okay, then. So what's the issue?
My
Why are you
only
saying that
issue
they
is-
can't respond?
I see them words didn't come out my mouth about they can't respond. Not
the
once
issue
today
then?
have I said that.
That's
I'm
why the
just
conversation
saying-
came up.
I'm just saying about the physicality in the game is what I was asking about. Is the problem just the verbiage about them being soft? That's all I asked.
That was just one particular part of
That's the question I
conversation.
asked.
The conversation in general, the conversation as a whole was around why the players are being so responsive.
No,
and
that's
being
where
so-
you took the conversation. I
That's
just
why you
asked about it being
Dante,
soft.
You didn't ask why the players are so sensitive now and why they respond to the criticism.
I asked about the verbiage of
We
being
just-
soft.
Dante, that was a breakdown of the conversation because we was first talking about how the GOAT debate.
You were going. You said I didn't
Then
even
we
bring up the
started
GOAT.
with the GOAT debate.
You brought
I
up the GOAT
said that
debate.
that's where-
and I said I don't feel it's about that. I felt it was about on the court shit.
Right.
That's what
But
I'm talking
again,
about.
The overall conversation was about Dante. Why does the players believe that there's a lot of negative coverage? Why the NBA players specifically
But see, I don't
feel that there's a lot of
And see,
negative
but to
coverage?
me, I feel that's a lie off the rip, though. I don't think that is. They're talking about basically who they talking about? Charles Barkley and the older players is basically who they got problems with. But the older players are just saying, we played in the league. It was different. They were on the fucking court. They can say it was different. They know it.
That's a
they see it.
Dante, that's a difference than saying the players are soft these days.
But we know
they can't. They wouldn't be able to play in my general. You can say what we know, just like you just agreed that.
I want to see all these videos with these older players saying these dudes today couldn't play. I haven't seen them.
Man,
I haven't seen them.
See it every day.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Every day. But you do see today's players disrespecting the previous eras. I see that a lot.
You do see it a lot.
But I don't see a lot of them older players saying. First of all, the older players rarely even talk GOAT shit.
Who do?
LeBron.
Who do?
LeBron.
LeBron, the only player that talk GOAT shit.
Who else talking?
Everybody in the fucking media, the whole conversation is driven around the GOAT
players now. We're talking players, older versus new ones. Them old players don't talk about I'm the GOAT. They don't talk about GOAT shit.
Yeah, they do. Charles and Kenny Smith are always ranking the top 10.
That's because they come up. But I'm saying these older players like Kareem.
And just try to throw Barkley and said Barkley said he the GOAT.
We talking about GOAT conversation.
Who's saying they the GOAT? The players.
No. We was talking about the GOAT conversation.
Yeah, I'm saying like the conversation, like when they talk to Oscar Robinson and all Kareem, they don't talk about GOAT shit, but these young players do. I'm saying so they get so offended by some of this shit that they talk about, oh, it's all about the GOAT shit. Y'all the motherfuckers talking about it. LeBron the one on this shit saying he the GOAT. So how they get so mad about GOAT conversation?
So who brought up the GOAT conversation? Who the GOAT conversation just generated from the players. The players just started talking about GOAT shit.
Motherfuckers like us talk about it.
Everybody, the fucking whole genre was created by
Skip Bayless.
Man, Skip Bayless ain't the only one with the GOAT conversation.
Skip Bayless started all this shit.
So Skip Bayless the only GOAT conversation.
I'm saying it started to blow up when he pitted LeBron against MJ. That's when the shit really started to blow up.
Everybody else started parroting them same conversations. Everybody, you can say Skip was the genesis of it all. And he probably was one of the most popular ones, but everybody followed suit because guess what? The eyeballs started turning. First Take became the #1 rated sports show. We started having all these debate shows. That's when the players started to get, okay, well, since y'all want to goddamn have this conversation, y'all want to get personal, calling folks scrubs, fucking calling the players soft and all this shit in third, then we can have our say so too.
My thing.
Just like Acho said, we can't be the one criticizing and then get mad when we get criticized.
I ain't gonna about
that's bullshit.
My thing is, it ain't.
If that's where we're at,
it's not that much negative coverage like that. I just have an issue with that part of it,
man.
It's a couple motherfuckers on TV.
Let's get
it. Are they big time people doing it? Yes, but it's not most of them. It's really just not.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with any of the players having a platform.
I promise y'all we're gonna get to the Final Four.
We ain't gonna get there. But we need to cut the
to me, when you're doing it during the season.
I promise we're gonna get to it.
To me, when you're doing all this stuff during the season, it's just, to me, it's helping to decrease the value of what we believe the league to be. And as NBA professionals, I think that entire belief about what it takes to be a pro, all of that is being diminished by players who are electing to do platforms during the season. It continues to devalue the game for me. Like, you have an entire off season that you can put time and energy to, and we've seen some NBA players that started a platform that have come to that realization that it's too much to be put into it, and they've stopped. You got PG just recently stopped doing one. He got more time than anybody. He stopped his. And CJ McCollum stopped his. He stopped his a couple of years ago.
So who the only one doing? Who doing them? Ain't but one person.
No, you got
Draymond.
You got Draymond out. You got Draymond
about
out
NBA?
there. You got Draymond out there.
Draymond and Michael.
And your boy in Detroit, the wide receiver, he got one.
Ooh,
Amon-Ra. He's pretty good.
To
me, ain't a lot of that.
To me, that's what it does. I don't like to see it. I would rather see these dudes.
It was PG and Draymond.
Like
I said, PG stopped his shit.
It depends on the person for me. I don't really have an issue with it as long as you performing on the field. I can't tell a man what to do in his off time. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't stopping you from going to practice, you ain't late to practice.
Right.
You ain't missing your commitments to the football
I believe
team.
in mama mentality.
My only issue with them is just don't have an issue with people saying that the game, even as a fan, don't tell me I can't have an issue with the way the game is played. See, I try to keep it on the court. Don't tell me what I'm watching. If I say, okay, I believe the game is a little bit lesser than what I used to watch, or I don't like the style of play, don't tell me I can't feel that way, or I'm a hater. That's the vibe I get from these current players. Oh, y'all hate. I'm not hating. I still watch. I just don't like the brand of ball that's played all the time. I don't like all the threes and all that. Yeah. I can have a problem with that and not be a hater of the game or a hater of today's player.
Well, that'll be a whole nother conversation.
But you know what I'm saying? But let's move on to the Final Four, man. Bama ain't going. Auburn is. Shout out Auburn.
Fuck Auburn.
Greg, see you got your Bama shirt on still today, bro.
Roll Tide, baby.
Cuz let you down.
Nah,
I didn't know.
He didn't let me down.
Let him down.
He didn't let me down.
What did he shoot? You know, Jerry?
I know he was 1 for 5 from 3. I do know
okay.
that.
1 for 5 from 3.
He was ass. That's what he was. He was ass. I
wasn't gonna call him man.
Oh, he was ass. Sears was
I wasn't
ass.
gonna call him man.
That's terrible. That's terrible, man.
Sears was ass.
How you gonna disrespect my family like that?
So your family was ass the other day, dog.
This is the question I want to ask on this Duke Alabama game. Did I not tell you? Did I not tell you who's gonna beat the dog? My exact words: we're gonna beat the dog shit out of Alabama. I told you. I told you how we was gonna do it. You wore your heart on your sleeve. You sitting over there rooting for your team like you had some kind of hope, like something was going to be different once that ball got tipped up. I told you. You can't play. That system against our defense was not going to work. And it didn't. Alabama was terrible on both sides of the ball. Clark Kellogg tried to clean it up. And I remember him saying that Duke's defense is very clear on what they're doing out here, but Bama's defense have had some miscues. Miscues is an understatement. They didn't know who to guard out there on some of the cuts.
We talked about it. It seemed like to me the dude that was the issue for me. I knew was gonna be was the 7'2" dude.
That was the issue.
He was gonna be an issue. You know what I'm saying? He was gonna be a problem. And
that was the issue.
And I think once they started missing a few shots, they got in a hurry. It seemed to me like they was rushing.
We got the shots that we normally take,
but it seemed like they were rushed.
They felt like they were rushing it for me. We got rebound threes that we normally hit. We got side threes that Aiden Holloway got. He normally hit. Sears got. Cuz got normally hit.
And see, for me, I don't like teams where if that ain't going, you really ain't got a second pitch.
But that's the problem. We have had a second pitch.
Do it really? What is it?
We get to the cup.
Yeah, but against a lot of teams. But you knew you weren't going to be able to do that consistently.
All season, we have not shot well. We didn't shoot like that again. BYU was the best game we shot.
Hell, who the hell shoot like that?
We ain't shoot half of that. We've normally been around 7 to 13 threes.
35%.
We've won games where we've hit 7 threes. We won games when we hit 5 threes because we get to the cup and we get free throw line.
The difference was do that versus Duke, though.
The difference was the 7-2 guy. We couldn't get him out the lane.
Right.
We couldn't get him out the lane.
Right.
And when he was in the lane, Aiden couldn't finish at the cup. My cuz couldn't finish at the cup, which he normally does a good job of finishing at the cup. Fucking Knippel wasn't gonna stop nobody.
Knippel was all right though.
Knippel wasn't gonna
Knippel stayed in front of Sears every time he was on him.
That's a goddamn lie. That's a damn lie. That's a damn lie.
Not every time.
That's a damn lie. If the 7'2" dude wasn't there, Sears would have finished at the rim at his ass. What's his name? Malowatch?
Yeah, I watched Malowatch stay in front of Sears. Everybody on the team stayed in front of. If it was a switch, they did a very good job of staying.
And he was getting it to the cup and having to bring the shit out. That Duke was better.
He had a couple of times.
They was better. They let provided more of an issue than I thought it would. We played a lot of teams with length, and we've been able to shoot mid-range. When the 3-ball didn't go down, we was done. That was so. That kept us off.
Houston.
I told you that.
Who you got?
That's what we played.
Duke Houston. Who we got?
I got Duke.
Jerry? Well, we know who you got. You got Duke.
For sure.
Auburn, Florida.
Florida.
Gators.
Gators did they let if
So y'all both going with the final that I picked.
don't nobody know the final. That
Yes, you do, because it's in the thing. I sent it to y'all when you asked me.
It wasn't in the.
But you know I had it though. But you know I had it though.
Put your money on
But you know I had it though.
Put your money on
But you know your boy had it though. But I had it though. But I had it. So who you got winning?
I got Florida winning, man.
I did too. That was my winner.
They 4 7-footers, and they got another dude that's coming next year. He already in the he on the team. I think they red shirt. He's like
what's your boy that's on ESPN? Greenberg. He said they got 2 of everything.
Two of them.
You know what I'm saying? I don't see how Auburn gonna beat them. You know what I'm saying? Didn't they just beat Auburn in the tournament, in the SEC tournament?
Nah, they beat them at home.
Or was that Tennessee?
They beat them at home, but they didn't.
Then they beat them. The last time they played, they beat them though, right?
Yeah. They only played them one time.
Okay, yeah. So
they beat Bama, and then they beat Tennessee in the championship game.
Yeah, I see.
But I'm still proud of my boys. Another Elite Eight.
It was.
That's 2 in a row.
But Bama, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, that's our third Elite Eight.
That's Bama fans go to when they lose. They go to their past.
That's our recent past.
That's they go
to.
They go to.
Wasn't we in the Final Four last year?
They lose. They go to the previous year's success. That's what they do. That's what they do.
We are not a traditional basketball powerhouse. We're not. You know what I'm saying? You got to give credit to the teams that are the blue bloods. I like the direction of our program. We have not had this success before. Hopefully, we can get the players back in there like we've had over the last 2 years. Get some longer guards.
My boy Mario said y'all out that Bama is a blue blood. I'm like, dude,
we a new
not
blood
in basketball.
Yeah. We're a new blood.
Yeah, new blood.
Yeah, new blood.
Y'all need to teach them short ass guards. So when you come off, if you gonna use the pick and roll, be able to affect the game from every offensive spot you can on the floor. So instead of going in there getting your shit beat to sleep or missing because you're trying to avoid that big 7'2" dude down there, shoot the mid range player. It's right there. Take the mid range shot. But when you're not a prolific shooter for real, that's what it is.
You know the mid-range ain't part of today's basketball.
Exactly.
I digress.
That's not how we got there. We got there by shooting threes, layups, and dunks.
And that's what got your ass destroyed.
But what leads us to the boots on the ground segment? Jerry and I, of course, went to the women's Sweet 16 here in Birmingham, South Carolina, and
we had South Carolina and who did they just beat?
Damn, who the hell they just beat? I tell you, we getting old, bro. We just watched their ass. But the reason we were there is because Maryland. The reason we were there was because I said I'm gonna see more. I'm gonna try to support women's sports more, watch it a little more, so that we can talk intelligently about women's sports. And I gotta say, I was a little worried after the first game, Duke, North Carolina. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, that shit was boring as hell. Boring as hell. Won't lie about it. Wasn't very well played. The scoring was terrible, low scoring. Yeah. Seemed like they was discombobulated the whole damn game. It was boring as shit. I'm just going to put it out there. And I was like, what the hell am I doing here? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Second game, much, much better. It was much better. I will admit, that was a much better game, the second game. The young lady from South Carolina, Malaysia
Fu Wiley.
Damn, she can play. Yeah. That's the kind of basketball I would like to see from women's basketball. If they got more players like that, Juju, I could watch it a whole lot easier. That's just for me personally. You know what I'm saying? I thoroughly enjoyed the second game. I really did. That's one where I was like, okay, I could watch this. You know what I'm saying? It was well played. They posted up. They shot the mid-range some. You know what I'm saying? It was basketball like I like watching basketball. Right. I like seeing a post up every now and then. You know what I'm saying? And not just something, an afterthought, right, where the bigs all playing on the perimeter. The bigs were in the post trying to post up. I enjoyed that game. It was well played.
Yeah, the thing that
and now they're on to the Final Four as well because they did win.
The thing that I have to, or that I focus on, or the thing that I enjoy about the women's game is that, you know, like most sports, athleticism is going to get good players an edge. But when you're watching a game where there's, you know, far less athleticism than men, execution is something you have to watch for. Basketball smarts is what you have to watch for. Fundamentals type things that is, in some regards, is totally gone from the men's game. So that's one reason I check it out. And the women's side of the tournament is doing well too. You got upsets, you got big upsets. There's a lot of players in the game right now for women's basketball to be excited about going into the future. You mentioned Juju. You know, we hate to see her going down.
Yeah, that sucks.
Paige Beckers has she's gotten her career back on track. She hadn't suffered any major injuries this year, so it's been good. Pro. Yeah, it's been good to see her ball. I've been watching her since she was putting her YouTube videos together when she was in high school of her training sessions. Then you got my two guards at Notre Dame. They lost to TCU.
They did, yeah.
I did not think they were going to lose that game, but that's a big win.
Yeah,
and we continue.
And I watched UCLA win today too. They beat LSU.
Yeah, so you got what, ones and twos in the women's game as well.
Yeah, you got both ones. You got UCLA, South Carolina. Then the other two games are tomorrow: Texas, TCU, and USC, UConn.
Yeah,
tomorrow. So we'll see about those. Like I'm not sure. I don't think USC can beat UConn, so I don't think they'll make it as a one. I think UConn will probably. Juju, without Juju, I can't see them beating UConn.
Yeah,
so
Juju.
Texas, I think will win. But yeah, like I said, so I think they'll probably end up with 3 number ones and that one and the number 2. So. But UConn might actually be the favorite now.
The women usually go chalk.
Yeah, normally, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, without Juju, I'm not sure USC can beat UConn. So we shall see. But again, like I said, this year, I said I'm going to watch more women's sports this year. I'm going to try to watch a little WNBA, even though, like I said, I watch the Aces normally or either the Liberty. Everybody else, I'm kind of But we'll see this, y'all. I'm gonna try to get a few more in. You know, what I'm saying?
So much movement. I'm gonna have to wait till the season to see, what teams have actually made good moves, because the WNBA, this is probably the most movement they've seen since they've been in existence. There's a ton of players gone to different teams. Plus, they added a team.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they went through expansion too. So.
Yeah. We'll see. Hopefully they can keep the momentum going, man. We'll see. But hey, we got to pay a few bills. We'll be right back.
What bills we got to pay today, man?
We'll be right back. Got a few bills to pay.